So this next run of the experiment, I'm doing 234 grams of gravel on top of 153 grams of wax. So the wax disc is actually quite significant this time. There is a small bit of wax around the edges. I did just so that we have better visibility. So the gravel is centered entirely on top of the wax. The wax disc is roughly this inch or so on the side. You can see where the red is. There. So there is some gravel on the bottom from the previous test. I need to now get our steam going. And the wax from the wok, or the wax in the wok, is from the initial controlled disaster. So I will wait till the steam is roaring and everything's heated up, and then I will move forward with the test and timer. Okay, so as visually obvious, the wax is the steam is going. So now I'm going to add our beaker for science and get the timer going. Okay, so now the timer's going. I added the little wall of wax on the side, so that I'm hoping it can help us visualize a bit better. Now, since there's a much larger body of wax in this one, I'm hoping we will be able to get some sort of response. So the timer has started. We're at 40 seconds. And this is what our inside is this time. Yeah, so still no way to have it hold itself. Minute 20. 5 minutes, 35 seconds, checking in. Might be some melting going on. Nothing visible as of yet. Our steam is roaring. Looks like, yeah, no visible tell of melting. I don't know if you can see it, but underneath that 100, just on that border there, it looks like there might be some melting and vesicle going on. Looks like this might be our angle for melting. So I guess we'll see if it gets higher than that 50 milliliter mark. Of course, no deformation on the top yet. Six minutes, 37 seconds, checking out. 8 minutes and a half, and it looks like it is confirmed. As you can tell there, our wax has gone above the 50 milliliter line. And so it is melting down there. Now we just have to see what happens to get the wax on top, or how it's going to happen here. So no surface deformation. Oh no. I just realized I did not add water. So at 9 minutes flat here, I am removing this and adding the room temperature water. Explains why this experiment was so interesting. So I'm going to add the water and bring it back. So at 9 minutes, I pulled it off, added the water, which was kind of a pivotal part of our experiment. And so now I've restarted the counter with the water on top. Our wax is still there past the 50 milliliter line. And so now our timer is at 25 seconds. 3 minute, 45 second, checking in. So it looks like our wax is nearing the 100 milliliter melted line. It's looking pretty melted all around the bottom here. But there's no surface deformation yet. Our steam's still running, getting up to like 70–60% humidity in my house. It looks like it's really melting fast. Now it's right below the 100 milliliter line. So there's definitely some melt happening down there. But the top is still solidly cooled. So we'll have to see what happens. So essentially the wax formed a disc all along that bottom inch. And then I put sediment on top to try and, I guess, balance the other issue from the wax taking lava tubes in a path of least resistance. Hoping this time it'll be much more abrupt and effective. The water does not seem to be swirling this time either, which I think is interesting. But there is some clear melt all the way around. So we're at 5 minutes 45 seconds. 100 milliliters melt. So this experiment is going significantly faster. So 10 minutes. We're just barely over the 100 milliliters melt. I'm not sure why there's slowed down. And so there's no physical change on top. The water is not swirling this time still. Running a little low on water. Should probably get that going. So I'm boiling up some water on the side with a pot so that we don't have to worry about our steam getting killed. But still melting. No, nothing happening here at 10 minutes 50 seconds. "13 minutes 30 seconds. We're running low on water. I still have that warming up. Melt is past the halfway, or nope, past the fourth mark, so it's almost to 150 milliliters melted. Not overcoming that, cohesive force to get buoyant to the top of the water. But it's getting there. So if you notice, there's maybe that mark from the 50 milliliters to maybe 75–80. So from 150 to 180 milliliters looks like it's still solid, but we're almost at 150 milliliters melted. So there's only that little bit that's still solid and holding all of that liquid wax back. Again, we're at 14 minutes 30 seconds, so I can't imagine it's going to be too much longer. I'm going to refill the water and get back on it. So 14 minutes 45 seconds, looking like this. Alright, 15 minutes 25 seconds, got a full refill on our water. It's even sputtering out now. Filled it up a little too high. But c'est la vie. We'll go along with life. Almost there. Still no change. But we got that refilled water, so our steam is strong. Okay, so we're almost there. We're almost at that 150 milliliter melt. Alright, so 17 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. We're at 150 milliliters melted. Not sputtering water from our reservoir anymore. Still not seeing anything seep through. So our solid layer is still holding. It's getting close though. If you look, there's a pocket over here. Let's see if we can get through the steam. There's that little shape there. So it's pretty well melted. It's just a small layer holding it. So I'm thinking this one might be very Mount St. Helens. Just full collapse. "18.5 minutes on the clock." This one's going significantly faster. Still no swirling of this water. I don't know what to attribute that swirling to. So it looks like we are at our 150 milliliter melt mark. Get a better angle with no glare. Oh, there's some wax moving at 20 minutes 13 seconds. Right up here. Had some wax seep in. We got 21 minutes on the clock. We were getting close. We already had some wax move. So we know it's moving down there. Oh man, I don't know if I want to risk it, but if you can see down here on the side, there's not much holding that gravel up anymore. So that gravel is on the brink. 21.5 minutes. 22 minutes 40 seconds. Still no move from the wax. Oh, there's some more wax moving at 23 minutes flat. So now we got some more wax surfacing. We know it's moving. Still just waiting for that gravel to drop. I'm thinking it's going to be one big motion and it's just going to be all that melted wax surfacing. "24 minutes 50 seconds. Still no wax moving. We're past 150 milliliter melt. And so it's only this upper area here where we've seen the wax surfacing. The surface of our Pyrex is still cool to the touch. But that bottom there is obviously not, with all that melted wax in it. And we're looking at 25 minutes 50 seconds. Looks like there might be some bubbles forming on the gravel and rocks. Could be mistaken. "27 minutes 40 seconds. Feeling like it's that moment when it's way too close, you don't want to blink and you'll miss something. But I also feel like the more I stand here, the less likely it's going to happen. There's some bubbles moving up from the gravel, so there's definitely some bubbles forming on the gravel, because there's some that float up to the surface every so often. Meaning the temperature of our water must be getting pretty well. Oh no! Okay, well, now we have some water spilled below our beaker. Should not affect our experiment. Just moved our beaker out of the water for hotspot concerns. Still within. Oh, we had more wax move. Looks like this one right here. "30 minutes, 10 seconds. There's some more wax. So we've got some surfacing there. Got a hot spot within our hot spot, maybe. Oh, there's more. Ooh, a lot more wax moving. So you can tell it's from over there. You can see it coming out there. Oh! There goes the whole thing. Not really any good vantage points. Oh, here we go. So it looks like most of the wax just came right through. So now we'll have to cool it down so we can evaluate what our gravel looks like. See if any of our hopeful hypotheses about the volcano resemblance fall in. So that all went through at about 31 minutes, because we're at 31 and a half now. Alright, after letting it cool some and being thankful for having sacrificial dishes, I was able to scoop out that wax. Looks disgusting enough. In order to evaluate. So it seems that this side opposite the camera is slightly higher, and that all of the more dense actual rocks that were mixed in with the gravel got dumped into the center, making it almost a rift or like a continental divide area. So I would say my hypothesis, as per resembling a volcano, did not happen. However, it did represent plates, which is an interesting find. Ending conclusions: I do not recommend this unless you have sacrificial dishes and silverware. Other than that, it was certainly interesting and not what I had anticipated.